Sometimes you hear about something and it just clicks, makes you think, okay, maybe there's a different way to do this.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of the feeling I get reading about Firebase Studio. We've seen a bunch of chatter, articles calling it a potential game changer for app development.
Right. And the core concept seems to be building, everything, the full stack, right inside your web browser.
Exactly. Powered by Google's Gemini AI, no less.
Which, from a tech perspective, fits this larger trend, doesn't it? Cloud environments getting smarter, using AI to fundamentally change how we create things. Firebase Studio looks like it's really leaning into that.
Yeah, they're talking about seeing your app update live as you code, deploying it almost instantly, and having this AI partner kind of looking over your shoulder.
It does sound pretty futuristic.
It really does, like maybe making the whole process less clunky, more intuitive. So that's what we want to do in this deep dive, right? Get past the headlines and figure out what really makes Firebase Studio tick and, how developers are actually using it.
And it seems targeted pretty broadly.
Mhm.
Solo developers, bigger teams. That suggests a certain flexibility.
Absolutely. And one of the first things that jumped out at me, no local setup needed.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Think about that. All the configuration, installing stuff, just gone. Open a browser, and you're supposedly good to go.
Cuts down a significant barrier right there.
So let's get into it. What are the main ways people are using this, according to the sources? Maybe start with rapid prototyping.
Okay, yeah. Rapid prototyping. It's more than just speed, though. It's about changing how you even start a project.
How so?
Well, by turning an idea into something workable, like really quickly, you can test it almost immediately. Get that crucial feedback super early.
Right. The sources really hit that hard, taking that initial spark and making it interactive, fast, and they specifically mentioned skipping that whole local setup headache.
Which can take hours, sometimes days.
Exactly. So instead of wrestling with configurations, you're actually building and testing. It's like an instant sandbox for your ideas.
A sandbox? Yeah. Or, like you said, an instant-on lab. It lets you de-risk things early. You build a quick version, show it around, see if it lands, before you sink tons of time and money into it.
Makes total sense. Test the UI flow, the core concept. Get that immediate reality check.
Precisely.
Okay, so that's prototyping. Next big thing seems to be collaboration, which, let's face it, is essential these days.
Oh, definitely. With distributed teams, complex apps, you need tools that make teamwork smooth. It's not really optional anymore if you want to stay productive.
And Firebase Studio seems built for that. One source compared it to Google Docs for code.
Which is a powerful analogy.
Yeah, like multiple developers, maybe in totally different places, working on the same code at the same time, seeing changes live.
And think about what that does for the development cycle. Real-time co-editing means a much tighter feedback loop. You see what someone else is doing as they do it.
Right. Spot issues faster, build things together more cohesively.
Yeah, potentially leading to, fewer integration problems down the line.
So whether your team is across the globe or just across the office, that immediate visibility helps cut down delays, misunderstandings, keeps everyone aligned.
And it can foster a better sense of shared ownership, too, I think, when everything's transparent and happening in real time. Better alignment, maybe better team cohesion overall.
Okay, good points. Now let's talk about the feature that seems to have the most buzz. The AI stuff. AI-powered development.
Right. Integrating AI into the development process itself,
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty significant shift we're seeing across the industry.
It really is. The idea here, as I understand it, is you can literally just describe what you want.
Or even upload a picture, like a screenshot or a mock-up.
Yeah. And the AI Gemini, in this case, generates the code for you. They called it a super smart coding assistant.
Which sounds amazing, right? It could potentially speed things up a lot, especially for, say, boilerplate code or common patterns.
Yeah.
But, it's also important for developers using this to still understand what's being generated. You can't just blindly trust it, especially with security and code quality. Oversight is still crucial.
That's a really key point. It's an assistant, not a replacement. The sources also mentioned it suggesting improvements or even creating whole components.
Exactly. So it handles some routine tasks, freeing up the developer to focus on the harder stuff, the architecture, the tricky logic, the user experience.
Which could lead to more innovative work, theoretically.
Potentially, yeah. Shifting that cognitive load.
Okay, next up, deployment. Often a pain point, right?
Oh, absolutely. Getting the code from your machine out into the world where users can access it. That can be complex, stressful, easy to mess up.
But Firebase Studio is apparently trying to make this way easier.
Simplifying deployment is huge. faster releases, less operational drag.
The sources described it as just a few clicks, from the dev environment straight to live. No complex scripts, no server wrestling.
If it delivers on that promise, that's a game changer. It lets developers focus on building features, not managing deployment pipelines. That kind of agility is a big advantage.
Yeah, sounds like it removes a major bottleneck, gets stuff out to users faster. Okay, and the last key use they highlighted was as an educational tool.
Which makes sense. Accessible platforms are vital for bringing new people into development, lowering that barrier to entry.
Right. They pitched it as great for learners, students, hobbyists, even teachers. The user-friendly interface, the cloud-based nature, it removes those initial hurdles.
You don't need a powerful machine or complex setup, just a browser.
And the combination of seeing results instantly plus that AI assistant, that sounds like a pretty supportive learning environment.
Definitely. Getting that real-time feedback is incredibly motivating when you're starting out. And the AI could act almost like a tutor, offering hints.
Like having a patient mentor built in.
Yeah. And for educators, it means less time troubleshooting student setups and more time teaching actual concepts.
Okay, so those are the big selling points. But like with anything shiny and new, we need to look at the other side. Considerations, potential drawbacks. First up, security and privacy.
Always a big one with cloud platforms, your code, your data. It's living on Google servers, not your local machine.
The sources were clear about that. You need to be mindful, especially with sensitive projects. They do say it uses Google's security infrastructure, which is, pretty robust.
That's a strong foundation, for sure, but it doesn't absolve the user of responsibility.
Right.
You still need good practices. Strong authentication, managing who has access, probably regular security checks on your own code.
So the platform provides the secure playground, but you still need to play safely. Makes sense. Next consideration, internet dependency.
The flip side of being purely browser-based, you need a solid, stable internet connection, period.
Yeah, no internet, no coding. The sources pointed this out as a potential deal breaker for people in areas with flaky Wi-Fi or who travel a lot.
It's a fundamental limitation.
Yeah.
If you need reliable offline access, this might not be the right fit, despite its other benefits.
Definitely something to weigh up. Okay, and the last point was the learning curve.
Which is inevitable, right?
Right.
Any new tool, any new environment takes some getting used to.
Even if it's designed to be intuitive, yeah. The sources acknowledge there might be a ramp-up time, especially if you're new to Firebase itself, or maybe full-stack development in general.
But they also pointed to resources documentation, community forums, and that AI assistant, again, to help people get up to speed.
So it sounds like they've anticipated this and tried to provide support. It's not like you're thrown in completely blind.
Right. And maybe, just maybe, having everything integrated into one platform could actually streamline learning compared to juggling like 5 different tools.
Interesting point. So bringing it all together, Firebase Studio sounds like it's really trying to be this all-in-one package.
Yeah, that's the impression. Rapid prototyping, easy collaboration, AI help, simple deployment, plus being accessible for learning. It bundles a lot together.
The sources really hammered those benefits. Speed, teamwork, smart assistance, easy deployment, and the educational angle.
Yeah.
Seems like it offers something for quite a range of developers.
From beginners just starting out to experienced teams wanting to work faster and smarter. It definitely seems noteworthy.
It really does sound like that one-stop shop idea they mentioned, integrating the whole life cycle pretty tightly.
So yeah, if you're building apps, it probably warrants a closer look for your next project. See if it fits your workflow.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating step in how these cloud development environments are evolving. It'll be interesting to see where it goes and how widely it gets adopted.
Definitely one to watch.
For sure. Well, that's our deep dive on Firebase Studio for today. Thanks for exploring this with us.
My pleasure.
We'll catch you on the next one.